Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're kicking off something new, something we're calling Echoes of Buhera, the whispers of the village.
That's right.
And this is really our first foray into this material. Think of it as us trying to unlock the stories, the insights from this region for you.
And we're starting with a really significant landmark.
We are Gombe Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission for this particular deep dive to, well, really get a feel for what makes Gombe Mountain tick,
Yeah.
Why is it so important? Not just as a place on a map, but its role in Buhera's identity.
Absolutely. We're not just looking at elevation data here.
Well,
We're diving into the stories, the beliefs, the whole spirit of Gombe Mountain based on these initial whispers we've gathered.
And it definitely seems to have a spirit, Gombe Mountain. Okay, it's the second highest peak in Buhera, but straight away it comes across as way more than just rock and soil.
Oh, definitely. People talk about it as a place of mystery, reverence, even power. You feel that sense of power coming through in the descriptions.
And historically, it's huge for the Buhera people, isn't it?
It really is. What's immediately striking is that connection. The sources suggest it's believed to be their original homeland.
The original home.
Yeah, the very spot where their ancestor Mbiru is said to have settled after his journey. So right there, Gombe becomes this foundational piece of their history, their sense of place.
Wow. But it's not just about origins, is it? It seems woven into their actual identity, too.
How so?
Well, the story about the sacred Shava totem, the eland, that apparently originated there, linked to Mbiru's marriage.
Ah, yes, that's a key point. That connection, forged through the marriage, essentially grafts the mountain onto their cultural, their spiritual DNA.
It's fascinating how often that happens, right? Where people's identity gets so tightly bound to a specific landscape.
Exactly. The marriage story, the totem emerging,
Yeah.
it anchors the Buhera identity to Gombe. It makes it a creation site, a tangible link to who they are, where they came from.
Okay, then there's this other idea which sounds, well, incredible. Gombe Rinovira Moto.
Mm-hmm. The mountain glows with fire
Yeah.
or lightning.
Right, specifically as the rainy season gets closer. And this isn't just presented as, like, an old wives' tale. It's described as a belief, something people actually experience.
Yeah, or certainly believe they experience.
What do you make of that? Is it literal fire, or is there maybe something deeper, symbolic going on?
That's a really good question. I mean, this kind of belief, seeing natural events as spiritual signs, you find that everywhere in many indigenous cultures.
Right.
It suggests a really intimate relationship with the environment. Natural things aren't just random, they mean something. Maybe it signals the mountain's power, its connection to the sky, the ancestors, especially as the life-giving rains are coming.
And the stream at the bottom of the mountain, that adds another layer.
One that keeps flowing.
Yeah, even in the dry season, apparently. It just keeps going. That alone makes it seem almost miraculous.
You can see why it would be considered sacred.
Totally. Used in rituals, blessings, cleansing. People feel it has a real spiritual energy. Beyond just, having water when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Could that constant flow symbolize something? Like resilience, maybe?
Yeah.
Or an enduring life force?
That's a very insightful way to put it. Think about it in a region that can suffer from drought. A constant stream is immensely important, practically and symbolically.
Sure.
It stops being just H2O. It becomes a symbol of life that doesn't quit, of purity, maybe even a direct sign of the mountain's own vitality, giving life even when everything else is dry.
But this sacredness, it's not treated casually. The texts emphasize this need for respect.
Yeah.
You don't just wander up Gombe Mountain like it's any old hill.
Exactly. There's this built-in understanding.
Mhm.
This place demands a certain behavior, a reverence. It's recognizing the mountain's power, its importance to the community's whole way of life, spiritually and culturally.
Which brings us to the Mashuku, the wild loquats,
Ah, yes.
the fruit.
There's this taboo, right? You absolutely cannot say they're bad on Ashata.
Definitely. And the consequence for doing so,
Right.
vanishing without a trace. That's dramatic. It feels like more than just be nice to nature.
Oh, it's much more. That taboo is a really powerful way to enforce respect for Gombe. It shows how beliefs about a place directly shape how people act, creates this accountability. And the idea of just disappearing, it really underlines this sense that the mountain is an active force, that it can react, intervene if you disrespect it. Makes you wonder what stories led to that belief becoming so strong.
And what's really interesting is that this reverence isn't just confined to traditional beliefs.
You mean the church groups?
Exactly. Contemporary church groups go to Gombe seeking divine power, and there are these reports, these accounts, suggesting people feel their spiritual gifts get stronger there.
Like more miracles happening, prophets having clear visions after visiting.
Yeah, it's almost like Gombe acts as a spiritual amplifier, boosting faith, whatever your specific beliefs are.
That convergence is fascinating, isn't it? Traditional beliefs, modern Christian practices, both focusing on Gombe, it suggests the mountain's perceived power just resonates across different systems.
It endures.
It really does. It seems to be seen as this place of heightened spiritual energy where people feel closer to the divine, whatever their framework. That continuity is quite something.
And the story about the Chinese contractors trying to put up boosters, that really crystallizes it.
Right, the technology problem.
Yeah, they had all this modern tech, but faced delays, accidents, just general confusion until the local elders stepped in.
Performed the traditional beer brewing, the Doro, and other sacred rites.
And then the project went smoothly. That can't just be a coincidence, surely.
No.
Or at least that's not how it's seen locally.
Absolutely not. It's presented as this, well, pretty compelling example of how deep the belief in Gombe's influence runs.
Yeah.
The fact that the problem stopped only after the rituals suggests this local understanding that the mountain is an active force. You have to acknowledge it, engage with it respectfully.
It really speaks to the limits of just a purely technical or material view when you encounter these deeply held cultural beliefs. You need to respect the context.
You really do. And it's crucial to remember this isn't unique to Buhera. This deep respect for a specific place.
The text mentions others, right? Like the Drakensberg for the Zulu.
Exactly. And Mount Fuji in Japan, Machu Picchu in Peru. These are all places soaked in similar reverence tied to ancient rituals, ancient beliefs.
Why do you think that is? This impulse to see certain landscapes as sacred seems almost universal.
Well, if you look at the bigger picture, it seems like a fundamental human thing, doesn't it? To imbue landscapes with meaning.
Yeah.
These places often become like libraries of collective memory. They anchor a community's identity. They provide that tangible link to ancestors, to spiritual ways of life. It gives a sense of belonging, of meaning that's way more than just the physical place itself.
And it all kind of boils down to that one phrase, doesn't it? That piece of local wisdom you hear whispered, "You said to cure Gombe."
Don't insult Gombe.
Yeah.
That simple phrase says so much.
It really does.
It's like a constant reminder, a rule for how to behave around this incredibly significant place. Shows you the power of language and how important respecting the natural world is in shaping a community's values.
So as we wrap up this first deep dive into the echoes of Buhera, what are the main whispers about Gombe Mountain that really stand out for you?
Well, first, it's crystal clear Gombe isn't just geography. It's living memory for the Buhera people.
Their origin story, their connection to the land?
Exactly. It's a powerful symbol of their history and who they are.
And second, that stream.
Ah, the water. It's not just wet. It's seen as having spirit. It's sacred energy, vital for rituals and community life.
And finally, the mountain itself. Its height isn't just about altitude.
No, it signifies holiness.
Yeah.
Its status as a place of power, deep reverence, a connection point to ancestors and the divine. And that cuts across different belief systems.
So for you, our listener, as we start digging into these whispers from Buhera, maybe just think about this. If you ever find yourself near Gombe Mountain, perhaps, just take a moment. Greet it. Maybe offer thanks for the stories, the spirit it holds, and perhaps just listen. Listen to the echoes on the wind.
And that brings up something for you to maybe mull over. What places hold that kind of significance in your own community, or even in your family history? What stories, what beliefs are tangled up with those landscapes? It might be worth exploring those echoes in your own life.
Absolutely. And look, if you do have stories like that from your elders, or maybe hidden truths from your own village that talk about that unique bond between people and place, please get in touch.
We'd love to hear them.
You really would. Maybe they could become part of future deep dives, exploring whispers from all over.
Until next time, when we explore more of these whispers, we hope your own deep dives are, well, full of insight.
Take care.